to Habitat for Humanity of Summit County.
So can we have the Habitat for Humanity folks come up? Okay. That's us. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good.
Thank you. Thank you. So this commendation is to mark the 40th anniversary for Habitat for Humanity. And, you know, whenever we do these commendations, they're so long and the print is so fine. We try not to read them all. No, I'm not going to read it all. I have notes. But I did want to note some of the highlights here. So whereas the Habitat for Humanity of Summit County facilitates the provision of shelter, advocates affordable housing, promotes dignity, and supports sustainable and transformational development for both families served and the community at large. It was founded on April 25th, 1986 in Akron, Ohio, by a group of dedicated faith leaders to be established as Habitat for Humanity of Greater Akron. And then on July 10th, the name was changed to Habitat for Humanity of Summit County in order to be more inclusive of the entire county and the area served. Whereas families and partners with Habitat over the years have strengthened and achieved stability and self-reliance for folks they need to build and help them to build a better future. Habitat homes are sold on a 30-year zero-interest mortgage to each partner family. Since its founding in 1986, Habitat has completed 248 new and/or rehabilitated homes, 397 home repairs, 631 minor home improvements, and community projects, and 1,035 deconstruction of homes to save usable materials. The current president and CEO, Rochelle Cibio, has led Habitat since June of 2006, and 2026 marks her 20th year of leadership, serving families to build homes and community. So now therefore, be it known by all and declared by the council and the executive of the County of Summit, State of Ohio, that this council and executive recognize Habitat for Humanity of Summit County on their 40th anniversary and their commitment to strengthening local neighborhoods, empowering individuals and families to achieve the dream of home ownership, and providing essential housing solutions for our community. And we urge all citizens to join us in honoring this organization on the 22nd day of June, 2026.
Thank you. This is wonderful. So thank you all so much. Thank you to council, some of my closer friends that are a part of council. And I want to also acknowledge Holly Miller here, that Holly works for the county. Holly led Habitat for several years prior to when I joined 20 years ago. So there is nothing like being able to partner in communities and build homes with families and see them thrive and be a part of the community, engaged in the community. I even see my friends from the city of Akron up front. So, thank you all so much. County council members, thank you so much. Thank you for all the years of funding and being a partner with us. We're incredibly grateful. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Great, thank you very much. And also today we have with us Austin Ferguson, Director of Artistic Operations and Educational Engagement of the Tuesday Musical Association, and he's going to introduce himself today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. As you heard, my name is Austin Ferguson, and actually on July 1 will be the incoming executive director for Tuesday Musical. So just like to take a few moments to talk about Tuesday Musical, how it's one of Summit County's cornerstone arts organizations, and share about myself, the organization, our impact both in Akron and Summit County, and as well as a look ahead to our upcoming season. Tuesday Musical has served as a foundational organization in Summit County's arts and culture sectors since its founding in 1887. So through the past 139 years, we've connected audiences from throughout the region with world-renowned artists and ensembles. Recent examples include Yo-Yo Ma, the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, soprano Renee Fleming, and the Cleveland Orchestra, to name a few. Our concert attendees, subscribers, friends, and members come from all corners of Summit County, not just Akron. For example, more than 25% of our audiences are made up of Summit County residents who live in districts within the northern and southern portions of the county. But this impact doesn't just come from residents traveling to downtown Akron to enjoy our performances. We're also proud to engage with our area schools and community organizations to provide unique and free engagement opportunities for students and community members. Tuesday Musical provides free student tickets as well as transportation funding for school groups to attend performances from throughout our series. Recent students from Coventry, Revere, Stowe Monroe Falls, Cuyahoga Falls, and Akron Public Schools have all taken advantage of this great opportunity to experience our artists firsthand. Providing impactful experiences to our students is one of the best things we can do to inspire our next generation of musicians and art supporters. Tuesday Musical is proud to be a leader in this area by connecting students with artists beyond the concert experience. A few examples include students from Cuyahoga Falls High School recently had the opportunity to not only attend a performance by the leading jazz ensemble in the world, Jazz at Lincoln Center, they were also able to meet and interact with the legendary band leader Wynton Marsalis. Another example includes orchestra students from Revere Middle and High School who have received hands-on training from teaching artists, as well as students from Firestone Community Learning Center in Akron who have had the opportunity to learn from vocal and orchestral superstars and even perform on stage alongside opera superstar Joyce DiDonato. Each season opens a new opportunity to connect and inspire students with today's foremost performers, and we look forward to continued opportunities to engage our area students and community members with this critically important programming. Looking ahead, our upcoming Akron Concert Series will be our 139th season. We'll be welcoming luminaries of the classical music world to Akron to perform at E.J. Thomas Hall. They'll also be working with students, as I mentioned. A few examples include vocal ensemble Chanticleer, the American Brass Quintet, Broadway superstar Audra McDonald, and we'll be concluding with violin virtuoso Itzhak Perlman with an all-star team of chamber musicians. We're immensely proud to serve Summit County and provide equitable and accessible programming that is closely aligned with the priorities set out in the Akron Summit Cultural Plan. It's a privilege to live and work in Summit County. I'm a resident of Cuyahoga Falls in Councilman Schmidt's district. And as I prepare to lead Tuesday Musical in its 139th season, I look forward to continuing our long tradition of serving the greater community. So I hope to see many of you at some of our concerts. If you're interested in more information or would like to attend, you're more than welcome to contact myself, our office, or visit tuesdaymusical.org for more information. And thank you.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate you coming to speak with us today. Do any members of council have any questions for Austin? Okay, with that, thank you very much for your time and congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you so much.
With that, at 4:39, I will open the Personnel Committee. We have one item on the agenda this evening. It is 2026-169, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Weichert Insurance Services, Incorporated, doing business as Weichert Insurance, as a best practical source to provide brokerage services for the county's property, liability, boiler, and machinery insurance program, and to provide claim reporting services using Riskmaster, a 5-year term, 7/126 through 6/30/31, an amount not to exceed $759,000 for the Executive's Department of Law, Risk Management, declaring an emergency. Mr. Harnack.
Thanks. Yes, Brian Harnack, Director of Law for the County Executive. This is going to be basically a renewal with Weichert Insurance Services. They are the ones that help us broker our insurance deals like we did back in April for casualty and loss. Law enforcement coverage, all those good things that we went over a month and a half ago. This contract is going to be for 5 years, and the way you structure compensation for brokerage services is you have a percentage of commission or you have a flat fee. This is going to be a flat fee each year. It's stepped from 121 the first year to 165,000 the last year. And that basically is based upon a total premium of $2,200,000. And by the end of this, by the way, we will probably be well above that. So this is locking in our rates with them for that time period. This company has really been very good for us in saving us money and really hunting down the best deals, especially with the law enforcement coverage. So happy to take any questions.
Do we have any questions from committee? And Brian, the increase in the 5-year contract is due to us having more coverage now than we had previously, correct?
Correct, yes.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, we're always playing catch up with Wickard because it's based on a total premium. We go out a couple years, the rates have increased, and we're below market at that point for brokerage coverage.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions from members of council? May I have a motion? I have a motion from Councilwoman Darrow. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And with that, I will close Personnel Committee at 4:42.
I will open Public Works Committee at 4:42. First item up is 2026-170, a resolution approving the proposed public improvement known as Springfield Township's Springfield Lake Outlet, County Ditch Number 45, Petition Drainage Improvement Project pursuant to Section 613121 of the Ohio Revised Code, and approving the engineer's schedule of compensation to be paid for easements pursuant to Section 613119 of the Ohio Revised Code, and waiving assessments pursuant to Section 613122 of the Ohio Revised Code, and declaring an emergency. Anybody wishing to speak on this? Mr. Kuntz?
Good evening. Mr. Kuntz from the Summit County Engineer's Office and Surface Water Management District. We encourage your support of this. We appreciate your support over the years as this has gone through its steps, and kind of coming down to the wire now, asking for approval of the project and authorization to advertise for construction. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Coons. Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? Hearing none, may I have a motion? Mr. Lecotte moved on 2026-170. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Next up is 2026-171, a resolution approving the proposed public improvements known as Copley Township's Copley Ditch, County Ditch Number 38, Petition Drainage Improvement Project pursuant to Section 6131.21 of the Ohio Revised Code, and approving the engineer's schedule of compensation to be paid for easements pursuant to Section 6131.19 of the Ohio Revised Code, and waiving assessments pursuant to Section 6131.22 of the Ohio Revised Code, and declaring an emergency. Mr. Coombs.
Yeah, thank you. It's projects that's following the same track as Springfield Lake Outlet. Just happened to work out. They're wrapping up at the same time, and we look to have construction on both of these start this fall. And I'm here for any questions you might have.
Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? May I have a motion? Ms. Darrow moved on 2026-171. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to 2026-172, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of Change Order Number 2 to a professional service contract with Wolpert, Inc. for geographic information system mapping, surveying, engineering, and adjunct services as part of the countywide stormwater mapping project in an amount not to exceed $170,000 for a cumulative increase of 34.2%, for a total amount not to exceed $1,175,000 for the engineer, and declaring an emergency. Mr. Coons.
Yes, thank you. This is part of our countywide mapping for all of the townships, mapping all of the storm sewer and drainage items within those as required by the Ohio EPA so that we can backtrack any problems that are found. If there's an illicit discharge, some issue in a stream, we can track it back. So this is to continue that work. This will be the last change order. The work has been completed in a counterclockwise fashion from Bath all the way around through Sagamore, and they're in Richfield now. So really, once they finish Richfield and Boston Township, that will complete the work, and they do have some office work then after the field work is complete. So we're looking forward to the completion of this work.
Any questions from members of the committee? Ms. Darrow?
Mr. Kuntz, do you guys
Yes.
ever find any problems ever when you're doing the field work? Do you ever find any problems with the discharge?
Yeah, these crews, I think there have been a couple issues that they've found, but we do have actually teams from the health district and the soil district go out specifically to look for problems at the outfalls. So they have found a few along the years, yes.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Members of council? Ms. Hyam moves on 2026-172. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Next up is 2026-173, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Akron, providing a $250,000 grant for the city's reconstruction of South Main Street between West Cedar Street and West Barges Street in support of the expansion of GPD Group, relocation of the headquarters for Buckingham Doolittle and Burroughs, LLC, and retention of other businesses serviced by this segment of South Main Street located in the City of Akron in Council District 4 for the executive and engineer. Ms. Swindell.
Does this sound okay? In 2017, the state allowed counties to put on an additional $5 fee on the license tag. As part of the county adopting that in the ordinance, there's a set aside of $250,000 a year for road projects in the cities that promote economic development. This year, we got 2 applications. The City of Akron's application was by far the most about economic development. We have 4 kind of criteria that we use. It's access for existing, provides new and improved access for existing enterprises, or promotes immediate job creation for new and existing enterprises, resolves a transportation problem impacting economic activity, and has a high percentage of funds already secured for the public. The South Main Street project hits every single one of those requirements. The project reconstructs South Main between Barges and Cedar. It serves GPD Group, Gojo, Bounce Innovation Hub, Greater Akron Chamber, the AES building, and Canal Place, plus many more. The City of Akron estimates the project will retain 2,157 jobs and create 314 more in downtown Akron. Of the estimated $11.7 million needed for this project, Akron has already secured $10.4 million. So it's a project where a relatively small grant funding can make a huge difference going towards their local share. Chris Luddle and Susie Moore are here if you have more questions about the project. And Brian, do you have anything to add?
Well, the only thing I was going to add, I asked Chris and Susie to come over just to give a very brief kind of update on the project, the timeline on the road construction and what all it entails, along with the job creation and retention. The other thing I would add is this will likely be the last one of these grants. As Heidi mentioned, back when we did this, we had additional revenue coming in, and I think Mr. Brubaker would be the very first one to tell us, if he hasn't told all of you already, that we don't have enough money for roads and bridges, and so we kind of viewed this as a great project to sunset this program with. We will likely be bringing an ordinance amendment to you after the break to phase this particular grant. Now, that also doesn't mean we don't have some, authority at will to do something if we wanted, but ending it as an official program is what we'd be looking to do with the ordinance. So with that, Chris, Susie, if you have anything you want to...
Anything you, Mr. Little, or...
Updates for
Susie, you'd like
council.
to-
Thanks. Hi, I'm Susie Graham. I'm the Director of Economic Development for the City of Akron, and honestly, that was a beautiful summary. I can add to and enhance those economic development numbers a little bit for you. This investment, this $10 million investment on the south side of downtown is desperately needed. If you have taken a drive down our main street, it is absolutely beautiful. This renovation will complement the $42 million that's been invested in the other part of the South Main Street renovation. As soon as you get to Cedar Street, that experience changes dramatically, and the road is desperately in need of some renovation. The Main Street renovations that have happened to date have helped to usher in more than $250 million of private capital into downtown, and this stretch of Main Street from South Main moving along from Bordages to Cedar is an important part of our downtown's employment hub, as well as the region's hub for arts, culture, and entertainment, as well as the sort of the spine that runs down the county seat. It includes key investments in employment, residential development, trails, and transit. And the to-be-improved corridor alone hosts more than those 2,000 employees across a diversity of businesses in the former BF Goodrich buildings, including GPD Group, Bounce Innovation Hub, 388 South Main, and those Gojo employees that were formerly mentioned. Equally important to those existing opportunities are future opportunities, and the renovations to the street helped to secure GPD's headquarters in downtown Akron. Ranked number one for both architecture and engineering in Cranes, GPD is committed to grow their team of 460 employees with an additional minimum of 120 employees joining the team downtown by 2030. 388 South Main Street also recently added 120 employees through Millennium Capital, and with the attraction of Buckingham, Doolittle, and Burroughs to downtown, with more on the way, we are looking to attract another 350 team members to the corridor over the next few years. In Bounce Innovation Hub, 60 businesses host 500 employees who have created 750 new jobs and $315 million of revenue and $92.2 million in raised capital since the inception of the Innovation Hub. Bounce averages about 20,000 visitors annually to the space while supporting our state and federal polymer cluster work with the Synthesix Accelerator. As residential development is critical to the success of the neighborhood and one of the best ways for us to facilitate the reuse of our historic architecture, the South Main Corridor is home to both the Goodrich and 401 Lofts developments, with additional Goodrich units in planning and the renovation of the Philadelphia Rubber Works building with 111 units in the pipeline. Notably, this stretch of Main also includes the intersection with the Freedom Trail in process and a connection to the 101-mile Ohio and Erie Canalway Towpath Trail, bringing 2.5 million visitors to the trail annually and generating $34 million in tax revenue with a $408 million economic impact. Finally, Main Street serves as a critical corridor for transit, connecting pedestrians, cars, bus riders, and employers to educational facilities downtown and throughout the region. The renovations will also include the intersection of South Main and Rosa Parks, a key connector to the nearby Metro Regional Transit Center. Thank you so much to the County Engineer's Office for consideration of this support, and thank you to Council for considering investment in this important corridor in downtown.
Mr. Little, anything you'd like to add?
Good evening. Thank you. Yes, I want to talk about basically the road construction, but first I want to thank the engineer's office, the executive's office, and council for this consideration. Like Susie mentioned, the other two segments where we started from the roundabout to the south to Cedar. That was our first phase, 35 million. And then the other section from the roundabout north to Perkins, that was another 12 or 13 million. So this will top that off with this section. It's about $11 million project, like Heidi mentioned. The concrete pavement is beyond repair. The water main under that pavement's 120 years old. That will be replaced with this funds. But I want to thank, the county, because in those other sections, we did receive some TID money, Transportation Improvement District money, and we did receive $500,000 this year for this project, now another $250,000. So, as you're familiar with OPWC funding, we cannot start the project till July on those funding cycles. We did receive $5.2 million from OPWC this year. So the current schedule is we're going to bid this project sometime late in July, early August. And then what you will see is mostly infrastructure improvements of the underground, the water main, all new communications under the sidewalk, brand new sidewalks. The cycle track will be extended all the way to barges, a protected bike lane. And then what you'll see is the middle median being removed. Some of us may think it's beautiful, but we don't. We'll remove that. We'll lower the sewers down to street level. And then some of the sewers will be rehabilitated, but mostly just sewer lining. And then new street lighting and an all new asphalt pavement. So again, I want to thank all of you for your consideration. I want to thank the executive's office and also the engineer's office for this opportunity, and thank you for the grant.
Thank you. Any questions from members? Mr. Schmidt.
Chris, do you prefer asphalt or concrete?
Well, I mean, when we talk about, we look at like Roaming Road, when we did that, concrete pavement, we have never had a real good program, of maintenance program. So some of these streets have gone beyond repair. So we've found with asphalt prices that we actually prefer asphalt because you can come in and mill off 2 inches and repave in the same day. When you talk about concrete street pavement, and right now we're going to start Home Avenue just down the street here, probably in another month, we're going to replace Home Avenue from the bridge all the way up to Independence, but it's going to be into next year by the time we remove all that concrete pavement, and we are going to replace with asphalt. Independence is another one. Some of these streets that we have around the city, and I'm sure through the county, concrete is really tough. And we see a lot of in our allotments. A builder goes in and puts all new concrete streets, but if you don't maintain them, eventually you're going to have to replace the whole thing, and it's very expensive. Roaming Road was $11 million, so we did it in concrete because of the heavy truck traffic because of Amazon.
Buckholzer from...
That's programmed to be full replacement, but there again, we are chasing OPWC money. We can't do any of these projects without the help of many agencies, sure.
And would you replace it in asphalt or concrete?
It would replace in asphalt, yes.
Good. And then Briding.
Briding's another one.
Aren't you glad you came here today?
Yes.
That Briding is a mess. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for all you do.
You're welcome.
Rita?
I had a question about the Canal Court Park over there by the barges. They have that Summit Sports and Social over there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to get any attention? They're bringing a lot of younger generation all up in through there, and it's like tremendous. If you've ever been there, and they really could use the help. I know that. Is that going to be part of this?
It is not part of this project, but we are repaving part of the existing lot around Spaghetti Warehouse, but that's not what this funding is. Recently, we just upgraded some of the electric back there for them, the city did, because they had some vandalism, but we try to support them as much as we can.
Right. I was just wondering, because I know that one of the biggest needs is restrooms and stuff in that area. That and also, let's see, because you mentioned the barges over there, so that's why I was just curious, because of the barges. They're right by the barges, by the canal park there, so I'm just kind of wondering where that
Yeah, Sport and Social's been a wonderful partner with Lance Osborne, who's developed
Yes.
the Goodrich. And so he is also hoping to develop Philadelphia Rubber Works, which is 1, 2, 3 barges, sits right next to the volleyball courts. And so his desire is to keep Sport and Social as a permanent tenant and to be able to build out a permanent space for them. They've moved around throughout downtown a couple of times as they have been trying to find a permanent home. And so we're hoping that with the renovation of that space, once 1, 2, 3 barges is renovated, it would have restrooms and things like that close by so that they would have the infrastructure that they would need to function.
That's good to know, because they're really doing a lot of great things over there.
Yeah, they're great. They run an
They
incredible
really are.
operation.
They're bringing a lot of business into Akron, and we don't want to lose them.
For sure. Totally agree.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Just want to add, obviously, this is a major, major improvement. And compared to what it looks like now, compared to what it's going to look like, a lot of the problems in that area will get addressed because people will want to be there now because it'll be much more improved. So thank you for your great work. Thanks to the engineer's office for assisting.
I'll move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Schmidt moves on 2026-173. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have 2026-174, a resolution declaring the failure in pump station number 123 Force Main on Valley View Road, located in the cities of Macedonia and Hudson, in Council Districts 1 and 3, in an emergency pursuant to Section 177.07, Item A3, in the codified ordinance of the County of Summit, and confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with Wingfoot Rental and Development Company in an amount not to exceed $425,941.74 for an emergency repair for the force main for the Executive Department of Sanitary Sewer Services and declaring an emergency. Mr. Vinay.
Thank you, Chair. If council remembers, the first part of this emergency came before the body approximately 2 months ago, I want to say, and that was the drilling of this force main under Route 8. If you remember, we had a deep fear that we were going to lose that force main. The second part of this project is simply laying some more line of force main due to H2S corrosion, but also replacing the receiving vault for this force main. This is, again, the longest force main in our system. It's 7 miles. So by the time the sewage gets done traveling 7 miles, it's highly septic, so it tends to eat up our infrastructure. And we replace that vault with something that's more accepting and that will also help us reduce odors. And then additionally, we added some chemical treatment to, again, control odors because we were getting complaints. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Ms. Walters moved on, no, who moved? I'm sorry. David. Mr. Lacotte. Mr. Lacotte moved on 2026-174. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on, our final item, 2026-175, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute an agreement with the City of Barberton setting forth the scope of duties, manner of performance, and all essential terms and conditions whereby the county shall enforce Part 13 of the codified ordinances of the County of Summit entitled Building Code, which incorporates the 2019 Residential Code of Ohio and the 2024 Ohio Building Code on behalf of and within the territorial jurisdiction of the City of Barberton in Council District 7 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services, Division of Building Standards, and declaring an emergency. Mr. Vinay.
Thank you again, Chair. So for the past several months, we've been in conversations, mainly with Barberton City Council and their Law Director, Lisa Miller, about the future of building code enforcement services within the city. They've been unable to attract a certified building official for probably 18 months to 2 years, which is required in order to operate such a department. We had been under contract for backup services in order to fill in from time to time when their certified building official was on vacation or he was out ill or anything like that. However, it quickly became a primary service for us, so that's when we engaged with the city and said, look, we believe it's time that you come on board here with the county. We can fulfill all your needs. This piggybacks on our recent agreement with the city of Norton, where we are establishing a satellite office there. So we'll be able to provide all these services within that same area. That satellite office is going to operate 3 days a week. Barberton City Council has already approved this. Chris and I appeared at their April 21st meeting and went over our services with them. I believe I have Chris here with me tonight. If he wishes to come up, because I know he's had a couple of meetings on the transition plans for both communities already, especially with the establishment of that office, so he can give you an update on that as well.
Thank you. Chris Randalls, Chief Building Official, Summit County Executive's Office. So for the City of Norton, we started serving the City of Norton the day after Memorial Day, and that's gone pretty well. I've gotten feedback from the city that they've not heard any complaints or anything, so we're happy about that. We are working with the city administration on our satellite office. There is a little bit of construction that has to be done. They have a lobby area that's going to work out well. We just need to add a window, a secured window for an office. But we have all of our tech in place, ready to go. We just need to get those plans submitted to my department for review and get that review done and get a contractor hired to do that work. So we're moving forward with that. With the City of Barberton, I have had a meeting already with the city. I'm going to have a couple more. The City of Barberton is going to be a little different because the day that we started serving the City of Norton, that was the day that our service started. Anything that had already been issued, any permits, any inspections already started, those stay with the City of Barberton's building department. In this case, since we're going to be taking over primarily everything for the City of Barberton as far as building department services, we will also be taking over those existing cases. So we will have to work on our end to input their existing files into our file system and pick up those inspections where they left off, basically whenever we have that go live date. So our goal is to notify, assuming this goes through council and it has approval, when we have that go live date, our goal would be we flip the switch and we take over. And it's seamless. It's just that people have to call us instead of the City of Barberton to get their inspections and everything, anything that's existing. And then obviously anything new would come through our normal process. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now.
Great, thank you.
If I just may add one more thing, Chair. A couple of items that I didn't mention at the onset was those previous duties were covered under ASME Local 265. Those same duties are now going to be covered under ASME 1229. So the union jobs will remain whole as far as ASME is concerned. And then additionally, I believe the inspector that Chris is assigning to this territory, he worked under me at the City of Barberton as our certified building inspector. So he knows the area well, he knows the contractors well, so we think that's going to help in the smooth transition.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council, Mr. Schmidt.
Yeah, I don't know which one of you guys can answer this, but how many employees are we taking on from Barberton?
They're keeping all of their employees for property maintenance inspections.
What about the gentleman you were just talking about that?
He came to the county a couple years ago.
Oh, he came to the county a couple,
Yeah.
so he knows Barberton very well. Good. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, you guys.
Any other questions? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Darrow moves on 2026-175. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen. Thank you. And that concludes Public Works at 5:05.
Planning and Economic Development will open at 5:05. Our first piece this evening is 2026-176, a resolution setting a date for this council pursuant to 709.03 of the Ohio Revised Code and Section 12501I of the Codified Ordinances of the County of Summit to conduct a public hearing to consider the annexation of 2.17 acres of land in Richfield Township to the Village of Richfield for council and declaring an emergency.
Madam Chair, I can speak to this.
Thank you.
We received a annexation from a gentleman named Mr. Abram Smith in the Township of Richfield. He would like for his property to be absorbed into the Village of Richfield. This simply sets the date for the hearing. Per the ORC, we have no fewer than 60 days and no longer than 90 days to set the hearing to discuss this. So we landed on August 17th. So happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions? Can I have a motion? So moved. I have a motion by Mr. Wilhite on 2026-176. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. 2026-177, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a term sheet with the City of Barberton, Ohio, and the Summit County Developmental Disabilities Board for the sale of the real property located at 501 West Hopatcong Avenue, Barberton, Ohio 44203, identified in the Summit County records as parcel number 0116601, 0106194, 0108714, and 0103272. In Council District 7, and the furniture, fixtures, and equipment located therein for the purchase price of $3.1 million, further authorizing the executive to execute all other necessary agreements and documents to undertake the sale as contemplated in the term sheet, including the option for the city to finance the same through the county and the payment of the proceeds to the Summit County Developmental Disabilities Board for the executive and declaring an emergency. Mr.
Yeah, I'll take the lead on this. I've also asked Lisa Komlowski, who's here, the director of the DD board, who can answer any questions about DD's operations, the impact of this, and their desire to sell this property. As I previously indicated to council in an email, the terms of the deal are essentially this. The property, as was just read in, will be sold for $3.1 million. Which is made up of $2.9 million in real property and approximately $200,000 in personal property. The center was recently remodeled in 2018. Okay, so the property is for the most part move-in ready, which is what I think is so appealing to the city. The city is going to essentially scrap the plans that they had for moving their administrative offices from their current city hall to 480 West Tusk, which is an old First Merit Bank building in Barberton, the cost of which to remodel was significantly more than this. The city's estimating that even after putting some of the things they had stripped out of their current city hall, which will become a criminal justice center, there are some things that they had removed from that project because of budgetary purposes that are going to go back into that project. They will still, even after that, save approximately $6.3 million with this plan versus their previous plan. We, the county and DD, have agreed that we would essentially, at the city's option, accept a mortgage and a note on the property for them to pay us for this property over, on the real property part of it, over a 20-year repayment period at 4% interest. $2.9 million would be the maximum amount on that promissory note. In the event of default, the city has also agreed to give us the right to withhold any defeasance from future property tax settlements, and or, in the event property tax is no longer a thing, local government settlements. And in the event that that becomes no longer a thing, it's kind of like, well, our problems are all way bigger than just that. So proceeds of the sale will be deposited into the permanent improvement fund of the city for the use, or of the county for the use by the DD board. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And Lisa, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to this to update council on.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the support of the Executive's Office and the Council for this transaction. Just to remind Council, our Barberton office was renovated from one of 10 sheltered workshops into an ancillary administrative office space following the DD Board's transition out of direct services in 2018. Post-COVID, the demand for office space has declined, and our board has identified the continued necessity of maintaining a second administrative office as not the best use of our tax dollars. I want to remind you that there are no services to eligible individuals that are happening at that building. It is strictly an administrative office. Our staff remain in the community, providing eligibility and service level assessments, monitoring interviews, and those activities are occurring most often in the individual's home, at their day program, sometimes at their workplace. That Barberton office today is used mainly for technical support for our provider community. We have relocated those elements of the building to our Cuyahoga Falls Administrative Office, along with the staff who are currently working out of that Barberton building. We do need to find space for a smart home that we have in that building right now. It's about 1,100 square foot of space that is dedicated to showcasing technology and how that might help individuals live in their home. So we're currently working with partners to relocate that piece of Barberton. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Hyam?
Brian, you had mentioned previously that there was potential representation on both sides. Did we straighten that out as far as who's representing who on
Yes.
this agreement?
Yeah. We're all going to be signing conflict waivers with the
Okay.
gentleman
make-
who sits at the middle of putting the agreements together for us.
Just wanted to make sure we had those in place.
Who's also on Lisa's board, by the way.
What could go wrong?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Wilhite?
Lisa, I think I read this in the documents, but you guys will be made whole with this sale, correct?
Yes, correct. 3.1 million is the amount that we have in renovations and fixtures and equipment in that building.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions for Lisa or for Brian?
I would also give a shout out to Mr. Vinay, who kind of, I think, resurrected these discussions a little bit. This is something the city previously had looked at and had, at a point, decided to head a different direction, and now is heading back this direction. And I think it's a good outcome for us and the city both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to move on this? I have a motion from Ms. Hyam on 2026-177. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. 2026-178, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a design-build amendment to the design-build professional service contract with Welty Building Construction LLC for the construction phase of jail pre-intake and Sallyport Addition project located in the city of Akron in Council District 4 and an amount not to exceed $3,819,003 for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services physical plants and declaring an emergency.
Good evening, Council. Tim Tober, Department of Administrative Services under the Executive Office. This is for the construction of a new Sallyport for Summit County Jail, the build-out of the existing Sallyport, and the renovation of the new of the intake of the jail. And this will be the design-build contract with Welty Building Company. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from folks? No? Remove? Okay, great. I have a motion from Mr. Kajan on 2026-178. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. 2026-179, a resolution authorizing the executive to advertise for bids for the jail door controls project located in the city of Akron in Council District 4 for an estimated total cost not to exceed $1.9 million for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services physical plants. Mr. Tober.
We are putting out to advertise to bid a new door control system for a system that is also not just antiquated but failing. And I think we all know that we don't want door controls at the jail to fail. So we are putting this out to bid within the month. Happy to answer questions.
Any questions?
So this isn't just a big ring of keys everybody carries around?
I have seen the ring of keys, but no, this is and we've done our due diligence. We've done road trips to different jails to make sure that we're looking into what is best for our system.
So all kidding aside, how does it work?
How does it work?
Yeah.
Imagine your old doorbell and then put it in a Ring camera. So that's the upgrade we're going to get. So they'll be able to control, they'll have the option to control water controls, intercom, the doors themselves, and they can do it within a bunch of different areas within Summit County Jail.
Any other questions? Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Kajan on 2026-179. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Tober. Planning and Economic Development will close at 5:16.
Good evening. Public Safety will open at 5:16. We will begin tonight with 2026-180, a resolution authorizing various service rates to be charged by the sheriff and authorizing the executive to execute contracts for the sheriff for said services for calendar years 2027, 2028, 2029 for the executive and the sheriff, and declaring an emergency.
Hi.
Good evening.
Colleen Sims, Department of Law and Risk Management for the Summit County Executive's Office. I handle the sheriff's contracts, including school resource officer contracts, and they were reaching out to me, in particular Greene, Nordonia, and Revere. We have contracts with them because they have to budget money for the school year for 2026, the fall of 2026, and the spring of 2027. So Sarah Bucci-Gross, Deputy Director of Finance and Budget, one of her last acts before going on maternity leave was to work with the Sheriff's Office and work with our office in developing rates that we could charge for 2027, 2028, and 2029. It's been our practice to do 3-year increments in amounts that will adequately compensate the county for the services provided. And with that, I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Any questions from the committee? Mr. Cajun.
Hi, Colleen. What we have in front of us on the exhibit, the new suggested rates, how do they compare to the current rates?
They are more. I would not say they're substantially. It's not a sharp increase, but everything it costs more.
Fair enough.
Yeah, those rates, Councilman, increase by about a little over 5% in the first year, and then they're roughly right around 3% in each of the years.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions from the committee?
I have a question. So, and that's going to be the sheriff's, the resource officers will be the sheriff, not the police department, correct? In the past, it used to be the police, and I believe we changed to sheriff. Is that correct?
The sheriff's it's only sheriff's deputies, and they provide services to Greene, local schools, Nordonia, and Revere.
Thank you.
Now, sorry, one clear. Revere may have a police officer, but that's a separate contract. That Revere board has worked with that local police agency.
These are specifically for deputies that we have contracted with those particular school districts to provide resource officers. It's sheriff deputies, yes.
Other questions from committee? Questions from council?
I'll move.
Mr. Cajun moves on 2026-180. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2026-181, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a renewal, first of 4, of a purchase contract with 460 Tech LLC, doing business as being court, as a best practical source to provide annual maintenance with on-site support for the criminal justice virtual courtroom project for a 1-year term from 7/1/26 through 6/30/27 for an amount not to exceed $343,906.68 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety and declaring an emergency.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Tommy Smoot, Executive's Department of Public Safety. We'd like to move forward with a renewal with BN Court. They will provide all their virtual court services or the hardware, software, and on-site support to a number of locations in Summit County. It's started a little after COVID, and it's been very successful. And like I said, I think it connects almost every entity from all of our courts and Oriana House and a number of other facilities throughout the county. So,
Thank you. Any questions from committee? Questions from council? May I have a motion? Ms. Darrow has moved on 2026-181. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. 2026-182, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a master service agreement with Needle Incorporated doing business as Aurelian to provide emergency call takers real-time guidance for calls for various Summit County public safety answering points for implementation and 9 months of service beginning 7/1/26 with 3 options to renew for an additional 12-month term in an amount not to exceed $204,250 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety and declaring an emergency.
yes, we'd like to move forward with CORE. This is a kind of like an on-screen assistance for all of our dispatchers, or the ones that would buy into the program to be able to use this. It will provide like assistance during a call. Let's say they get a bomb threat. You might have one of those in 20 years of service. So it would give you, use your SOPs at your local agency there. It would put tips or things that you would ask the caller that you might normally forget. Because those kind of calls don't happen very often. So different things like that. So it just provides another level of training, so that way they don't forget things when they're talking to callers or taking 911 calls.
Any questions from committee? Questions from council?
So moved.
Mr. Smith moves on 2026-182. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our last item of business is 2026-183, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Michael Baker International Incorporated, doing business as Datamark, for GIS data support for the 911 system and computer-aided dispatch for an amount not to exceed $180,493.23 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety and declaring emergency.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we would like to move forward with a contract with Datamark. They are going to help us get to Next Gen 911. But before we do that, we have to clean up our data and the way that we store our data, our GIS data. So when you get a 911 call, it's routed through a system, and to be compliant or to work with the new or next generation 911, you kind of have to make sure that it's clean data and that it will work seamlessly, I guess you could say.
So when you say next generation 911, are you talking about a 911 system that has the capability to detect people that are now using mobile technology, for example? What does next generation?
So this was more, next generation is where we're headed as a state, the whole state of Ohio. It's kind of like, let's say you have 3G, you're going to 4G or 5G. It's like a next generation. So it has more technology with it, or more. So we're getting less landlines, more phones, more VoIP. So there's a lot more data out there. And this is kind of getting us to that next platform there. But it's just cleaning up the data really first to do that. So your GIS data. And everyone has or does things a little bit different, all the different geographic information systems. Mm-hmm. So the office is there. So
thank you. Any questions from committee? Questions from council? Ma'am. Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford moves on 2026-183. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will close public safety at 5:27.
We will open up Health and Human Services Committee at 5:27. First item up is 2026-184, a resolution confirming the award of the Board of Control of renewals first of two to professional service contracts and authorizing the executive to disperse funds, including those that exceed an aggregate of $75,000 to all non-emergency medical transportation providers operating under contract with the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services in federal fiscal year 2027 for the period of 10/1/26 through 9/30/27, and an estimated total amount not to exceed $11 million for the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services emergency.
Good evening. Heather Yannian with the County Executive's Department of Job and Family Services. So this is for our non-emergency medical transportation. This is to have 9 different non-emergency transportation providers provide state-mandated transportation services for Medicaid-eligible Summit County residents to medical appointments both in and out of the county. Again, there are 9 net providers. The amount of $11 million is a renewal of what Mr. Jalbert just came to adjust the FFY 2026 to. This funding source for this service is state and federal Medicaid, and it is a pass-through funding and considered 100% reimbursable. Just so everybody knows, net transportation seems to get bigger and bigger every year. We are anticipating about 15,000 more rides and 150,000 more miles in that time period. So many of the individuals that are being served, many are on dialysis or have very serious chronic needs, go to the Cleveland Clinic and and Canton for different dialysis centers. So though we do provide transportation in county, we also do cross those county lines. I'll take any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee?
Yeah. Heather, the 9 providers, is that a pretty stagnant number? Has it gone up or gone down?
It went up considerably a couple years ago, but this is no change from last year.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from members of the committee or members of council? Motion from Councilman Wilhite. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2026-185, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with the Metro Regional Transit Authority to provide non-emergency medical transportation broker services for a 1-year term from 10/1/26 through 9/30/27 in an amount not to exceed $500,000 for the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services and declaring an emergency.
So this kind of piggybacks off of the last resolution. So this is for the brokerage services in order for the individuals to get scheduled for the riders of the 9 providers. So they provide both the scheduling and all of the follow-up. They do all the customer service. So essentially, Job and Family Services determines Medicaid eligibility, but then if an individual wants a ride, they call Metro, they broker the entire process. Just so everyone knows, Metro is one of the providers. However, they are the provider of almost last resort. So all of the other providers get to select their rides. Then whatever is left over and still needs scheduled, then Metro will take those rides. They don't poach any rides. And then they do all of the follow-up with that. So any questions on the brokerage part?
Any questions from members of committee? Members of council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Lacotte. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 2026-186, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Summit County Combined General Health District, DBA Summit County Public Health, to increase utilization of health check early, periodic screening, diagnostic, and testing services for young children for a 1-year term from 10/1/26 to 9/30/27 in an amount not to exceed $120,000 for the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services emergency.
Yes, so this is, this is health check. I'm sorry. I got too many tonight. So this is to partner with the Summit County Health Department to offer early screening for the utilization of health check. This health check services screen children for early identification of health problems. They outreach to educate families about the importance of timely screenings, and health check services such as Help Me Grow, infant mortality prevention, and WIC services. This, again, is 100% Medicaid pass-through, and we contract with them for pretty much just staffing to man this program.
Any questions for members of committee? Members of council? May I have a motion? A motion from Councilman Wilhite. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 2026-187, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of professional service contracts with various providers for the federal fiscal year 2027, utilizing temporary assistance to needy families, Benefit Bridge, State General Revenue Fund, and Food Assistance Employment and Training Funds from 10/1/26 through 9/30/27, and a total amount not to exceed $5,095,050 for the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services emergency.
So this is our annual aggregate funding that we use for both TANF, Benefit Bridge, GRF, and Fayette. So I will go over what the contracts are, but we do a lot of different services with these 17 providers. So of these agreements, there are no new agreements this year. So these are all existing agreements. 4 of the agreements deal with emergency shelter. 3 are for job readiness employment services. 4 are specific to the Benefit Bridge program that helps with the benefits cliff. And then 6 other ones are miscellaneous for emergency food, trauma crisis, kindergarten reading, infant safety items, legal services, and case management. Any questions?
Any questions for members of committee or members of council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Lacotte. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last item, 2026-188, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with United Way of Summit and Medina as a best practical source to provide 211 information and referral line services to assist low-income families in accessing nonprofit and government services to meet basic needs for the period of 10/1/26 through 9/30/27, an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the Executive's Department of Job and Family Services emergency.
So this is a longstanding contract that Job and Family Services has had with United Way to provide 211 information services to assist low-income families to access nonprofit and governmental services in order to help them meet their basic needs. The only change from this year, from last year, is the fact that we've removed the adult protective services after hours. That has shifted to CSB. We have partnered with them. So this is just for 211 without any extra services. It pays for staffing to ensure those families are connected to the services, including homeless prevention, which they do a lot of our screening for.
Any questions from members of committee or members of council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Wilhite. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I will close Health and Human Services at 5:33.
And we'll open up finance at 5:33. We have one item, 2026-189, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control to enter into a 5th renewal of a purchase contract with Brinks, Inc. as best practical source to provide countywide armored car services for a 1-year term from the period of 7/1/26 to 6/30/27 in an amount not to exceed $110,000 for the Executive Department of Finance and Budget and declaring it an emergency.
Hi, Colleen Sims, Department of Law and Risk Management. We have been using Brink Services since 2010, as far as I could tell. And a few years ago, we did put out a bid and received none. Brinks didn't even put a bid out, but said that they would continue to provide our services. And unfortunately, per revised code 9.38, we are legally obligated to make daily deposits for the monies that we receive. We have 7 offices that receive money on a daily basis: the fiscal office, the clerk's offices, and the Office of Building Standards. We've looked into alternatives such as a safe that would take money and count it, but the fiscal office was concerned that they wouldn't provide the daily deposit information. We even explored utilizing special deputies, but the concern is they wouldn't be able to provide the consistent service that Brinks has been giving us. The offices do comb through those invoices monthly, and the Office of Finance and Budget is really good at noting the disputes, and we do receive refunds when there is a billing error. Last year, I believe the monthly average was $7,600, but that is already starting to shoot up this year due to fuel prices. And so I was asking for $110,000, hoping that we can keep the services at around $9,166.67, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Council, before you go real quick, so next week is your last meeting before the July recess. Last several years, we've submitted, and it's not a double meeting, it's just a regular council meeting. We have submitted legislation typically as first reading passage request, knowing that there won't be any more action until August. The good news is, as I look right now anyway, there are only 8 pieces scheduled to come next week. So I'm sure somebody will contact us saying, oh, they forgot, but what's that? I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2. Yeah, there'll probably be a couple more, but it doesn't look like a super heavy agenda. I remember a couple years ago, we had like 30 first reading passages at the end of June, so nothing like that.